Welcome back. Tonight, this is going to be my last video because, like I said, if you've been following along, I'm a private person, but I do feel like it is my responsibility to keep speaking up and keep fighting because this country is headed in the wrong direction. And there's so much hate and vitriol and racism and misogyny running rampant. It's crazy. And to be someone who grew up here, and I'm 40 years old, to see in 2026 the rise of racism and misogyny is crazy to me. But here we are. So here I am, and I will keep talking. And in this final episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Monet Newton. Because I want you to see how that organization treated Mia Monet compared to how they treated Jessica McNeese and Jennifer DeGassis, both white females. Monet Newton was shot and killed when she broke up with her boyfriend, Chase, who was a young white male. Monet was only, Chase, I think, was 22. And when she broke things off with him after dating for about 2 months, allegedly, he shot and killed her, and then he shot and killed himself. And I have said publicly that I do believe part of the blame is on the organization because Monet worked for the Phoenix Suns and Mercury. She was there for almost 3 years. She had a double master's, and she was supposed to be great. But despite her education, she was a young Black female, and people in the organization were allowed to treat her as such, including making her do everybody's work, taking credit for the work that she did. Our co-worker, Liz, refused to work with her and even told her she didn't like her because she was young, female. And I just don't like you and don't think you're a professional, so that's why I don't work with you. And that is crazy. But what did our boss say? That's just how she is. But despite her years of experience and despite the incredible work that she did, she was only paid $40,000 a year. And for all 3 years that she worked there, she asked for a raise. And I think by the time it was all said and done, she was making about $45,000 a year. So she had to get a second job and a third job sometimes because that's how hard she worked. So the ignorant, racist stuff about Black women being lazy welfare queens is wild to me. But all I could do was speak my truth and speak for others because that Black women are actually the most educated segment in this country. And if you don't believe me, you can Google that in higher education. So she had to get a second job, and Chase was actually her manager at her second job. And despite the fact that he was her manager, he pursued her anyway. And when she broke things off with him, he took her life and then took his own. He would come up to the arena and harass her when she wouldn't answer the phone, similar to my ex when I wouldn't answer the phone when he stalked and harassed me. And no one there protected her. No one there prohibited him from harming her like that and stalking her like that. And at the end of the day, when Jessica McNeese yelled at me, verbally assaulted me at work, and then lied about what happened, Jessica was rewarded by getting almost a $25,000 raise. Jessica, with about the same experience as Monet, same amount of education, was making, I think, $60,000 a year, while Monet was only making $40,000. That's a $20,000 difference. And after Jessica yelled at me and then lied about what happened, she was rewarded after I was fired with almost a $20,000 raise, putting her around $70,000 to $75,000. Because that's how we are all valued differently in this country. And because she's a young white female with blonde hair and blue eyes, it was almost like she was celebrated and promoted for getting me out of the organization. Tragic. I might make one more video. I'll see you there.